afternoon, everybody. I couldn't be happier with our last track outing. Car did great. We went fast. Like I said before, in my eyes, this is a 7-second street car, and I will get that slip eventually to prove it. 4s and 7s. Probably would have went 4s last time out had we not chicken-footed the crap out of it. That last pass, I don't know if I explained this at all, 1.201 to the 60 at 0.2 into the run, my foot came off the throttle all the way to 60% for 0.3 of a second, something of like that. I couldn't remember the exact numbers, but a good amount on the hit. So that just goes to show you, and it set the tires back down right before the 60. So that would have been 118, 117, 60 foot. Stock torque boxes, just welded up. Viking double adjustables in the backs. Afterworks double adjustables in the front. Team Z suspension everywhere, except for the rear control arms. They're just UPR Pro Series. Team Z anti-roll bar. Nothing fancy. There's no tricks, basic Team Z chain limiters in this. Nothing crazy. So this thing will go mid-110s. I already feel it. Adjusting that 60% throttle, no, I'm not chicken-footing it. Yes, data looks like I am. The pedal, I talked about this briefly, but I also noticed today when I took the hood off the car, look how much slack is in that cable. So right there, it feels like it grabs the pedal. So we're gonna fix that. Ryan at FFP Customs, he builds some beautiful pedal boxes for these cars. Got the full billet, fully adjustable, automatic cars, manual cars. I mean, they're gorgeous. He's the one who I got these from, these trunk pieces. I mean, you can just see the billet work. He actually made me a custom gas pedal spacer, 1 inch thick. So we are going to bring the gas pedal closer to me by 1 inch. And we're going to adjust that cable, because I'd be willing to bet that that cable's sitting way down because of the way the pedal's way down because of the way it's adjusted. I can't move the seat closer because my arms get too bunched. I look like a little T-Rex in my fire suit. So I can't get it closer because then I'm very uncomfortable driving the car. So we're going to bring the pedal closer to me. I'm going to have to get that in the car and build a small pedal stop for that as well, because now it's going to overextend the pedal. I just pulled the hood off of it for the first time since the track. Checking things over. I hit the clear view with some air. And from what I can see, there's a couple of small flakes in there. Nothing really crazy. It's insanely hard to get on film, but I'll take it apart. Very small, but I mean, when you're running, 1200 horsepower ish, 1100, 1300, I don't know, it's somewhere in that range to be able to go 140 in the eighth. Go 510 at 140 in the eighth. So it's got to be somewhere on that, on a stock basic ass Suburban motor. This motor's out of a 2007 Suburban. It says it on one of the cylinder heads. Oh no, hold on. Crap. Hold on, let's see. Those aren't the heads that came on that motor when I bought it. So those heads are over here. Those heads are over here somewhere. And it says, I think it says 07 Suburban on it. Oh, I found them. Hold on. These are the heads that are going to go on the motor for the convertible. Is that it? Well, I mean, those are the heads, but is that where it says it? 12 Suburban, actually. I thought I said it in yellow somewhere. Interesting. 2012 Suburban. I've been saying it wrong. I thought it was an 07, but 2012 Suburban junkyard motor. I bought that motor from my guy out in Long Island after I blew up the built motor last year. Went down there, 600 bucks. I got a full complete LC9 and a 5.3 iron short block, which is in there. That's 5.3 4.8 LC9 short block. So I think I paid like 600 bucks for those two motors. I pulled it all apart. You guys can remember all the videos, but it is stock. Like, it's got a cam, it's got an oil pump, valve springs, retainers, and head studs. Like, that's it. Small bore LS9 head gaskets. That's it. She's a runner, so I expect it to make a little bit of metal when it's making that type of horsepower. Anyway, just wanted to check everything over, because we have Southeast Street in Yeet coming up in September, about a month and a half. And what I see is, it looks like I have a very, very small coolant seat from the steam port right there. I also got a, looks like I got some exhaust leakage there. And I think I saw a little on number 7 as well, but on the bottom. So I turn you upside down. You see it. I don't know. So we got to rip the manifolds off of it, put some new gaskets in it. No big deal. You know, I welded those headers. They are far from perfectly flat. But I haven't started it in a week. And I still got X85 in it. But I do have to reinstall my new low dollar drive shaft collar and sensor. Low dollar was kind enough to warranty this out for me. So I gotta terminate this connector and mount this back onto the rear end and get the sensor in and get that thing all right. And hopefully we don't run into any more issues, which we shouldn't. Yeah. This one's a touch bigger. Who knows? Anyway, starting to get some more stock. Got some new oil filters. These are the filters I run on the car. The 51060R for race. I gotta order some more Schaefers because I'm gonna change the oil, change the plugs, probably change the transmission fluid before we go down for that. So there's a little bit of maintenance work on this thing. So I'm going to go over in this video putting the pedal stop in, adjusting that, the pedal spacer and adjusting that, and maybe the drive shaft collar. Maybe we'll bring it down to work because I got lifts. I don't want to work on my back. I will, but I was going to drive it to work tomorrow. It's not going to happen because I have prior engagements after work and it's going to rain all weekend. So not going to work. So where's the keys? Oh, hey, no, those are trailer keys. Where are the keys? Let me fire this bad Larry up. Sorry, and it's got X85 in it. I don't want that stuff to sit long. It's almost out, but right, we're just doing some preventative maintenance on this thing right now. I got the manifolds off. I'll show you what we found here. Now here's the exhaust gaskets. As you can see, looks like we had some leakage on everything, which doesn't surprise me. I built those headers. They're probably not flat. Also, those gaskets are, I don't know, 5 or 6 years old. I've never changed them on all the motors. Those have been the same gaskets. So I'm gonna throw some gaskets in it and see what happens, and see if I can find a big enough belt sander around here to try to sand them flat before I stick them back on. One guy offered down in Jersey to, I think it's in Jersey, to mill them, but I don't want to mail them out and all that. So I'm gonna see if I can find something around here. If not, it's gonna leave a little RTV. But while I have everything apart, I figured I would take a gander at my stock rockers, since I'm sending them to 8,200 RPMs, and just making sure nothing silly's going on. But what I am finding is there's some rust on my valve springs in certain spots, which is kind of odd. Usually you get that from ethanol and not getting heat in the oil, but I drive this thing all the time. It gets to 200 degrees. Yeah, melted the blanket some. This is what I hated. Look at this. This is all coming off this winter and getting painted or powder coated, because this is, I hate this. A little brake seep. But, you know, while we're here, I changed the plugs. The oil looks great. Like, I almost don't even want to change it. I switched to Schaefer's this year, and it's been great. My fire core wires have been amazing. Not a single problem with that. Second season on them. No burns, nothing. And some of them are right on the manifolds. So I'm going to put this valve cover back on. Pop the other side off. Give that a look. Swap the plugs. I can't remember the last time I did them. That's the only reason I'm going to do it. Getting rid of these black rusted crap bolts for the coils. I went and picked up stainless. I wanted to get stainless valve cover bolts too, but they didn't have 80 millimeter long ones there, so I'm kind of problematic. Couldn't get it. Put some new gaskets in it. All in all, it's not in bad shape. So I'm gonna put this back together. I really, if I don't change turbo kits this winter, which I don't foresee, I think everything's gonna be pretty much the same, because if I upgrade the cage, I'm really not gonna have much money to change anything else. I want to get these manifolds, the up pipes, you know, the wastegate pipes, the back housings, and the down pipes all ceramic coated or Cerakoted. But I gotta add EGT bungs into this, because I have a full EGT kit that I never got to install. So I gotta weld all the fittings on that before I do it. And then that's just another box to install and more wiring. But more sensors, more data, more better. I'm gonna get the valve cover back on this side. Make sure it's all sealed up nice. Yeah, and just give it checks. I mean, making a lot of power in this stock motor, so we got to make sure it's happy, and then go from there and probably bring it to work. My gas pedal spacer should be here Monday, and then we figure out how to put that in and figure out if I can stop lifting my bitch foot. Put the drive shaft sensor in and start playing with that. So I'm gonna put this back together. All right, I don't know where we went with the rest of this video, but what I do know is we have to get ready for Street and Yeet, which is like 2.5 weeks away, and I'm being lazy and I don't want to do nothing. So got the trailer inside, starting to go through this.
I gotta put new taillights on it. As you can see, mine had an evacuation. This was a little bit of an issue after last year. So I got these LEDs. I'm gonna mount down here. I thought about mounting them like this, but I don't like how they come out the back, so I don't want to have, you know, a moisture point inside. I think this will be the best way for them. I just hope they're not too low, which I don't think will be an issue, but gotta start packing stuff in here, getting ready to put the fenders back on, and I gotta wash it. Oh my god, what is all that? I'm gonna tighten the leaf spring still. Here, what are we doing? Not much to the car, thankfully. But one thing is I have to redo the whole harness on the back of the steering wheel. Why? Because it is a brand new MPI steering wheel. My old one got warranted because the suede started to peel off right here. And if you have an older one, you will see that it's not stitched all the way around. Stitching ends here and then it's glued. So it started to peel. Contacted MPI. Show us the damage, show us the serial number. Your new steering wheel's on the way. But now I have to redo my harness, which is okay because the trans brake power was seconds away from breaking off. Dodged a bullet. But now I have to rewire everything, which I've been meaning to do forever because ProWire sent me a new coil because the green wire in here is dead. So I was making a race last year, might have been drag week. I just scalped the 20-volt signal from the Dominator and spliced it over the trans brake, which is fine. There's no issue with it, which I'm gonna have to do the same because I'm pretty sure I wired the plug in the car the same way. So, yep, we have to do that. I don't want to do that. I'm actually not looking forward to it at all, if I'm being truthfully honest. Let me just stretch this cord out a little bit. Yeah. What I am going to do is we're going to get my anti-chicken foot device in. Ryan at FFP Customs whipped this bad boy up for me. This is a throttle pedal spacer. So I gotta take my throttle pedal off, put this behind it, and then I got an inch, which I think is all I needed. Alright, well, the next day, I didn't use that throttle spacer because too many issues with it. It doesn't fit right, it pushes the pedal too far over to the floor. A whole bunch of issues with it. So that didn't work out. Alright, another dead GoPro battery. So anyway, I made provisions. I made the pedal work before. I managed to play with the cable and get shortened up. I know it's hard to tell, but it is a lot further up now. But I also had to weld on I don't know if you could see it in there, a throttle stop. Alright, because now it's farther away. You'd be SOL because you'd break your cable on the thing. Also built a new dash layout for the track, so literally just big fuel pressure, boost, and what I do is I have this targeted at like 7 or 8 pounds to start flashing, and when it does, that's when I know to start bumping in. Trans temp, oil, coolant, intake air temp, RPM, and I just know if my CO2 and water pump are on. See? So just quick, easy stuff for me to see at the starting line. Before it was too much. Like my driving dash
Like, so this is what I have when I'm driving, so I can monitor pretty much everything. But you can see the TPS there, 100%. Yeah, the boost controller going crazy. I had to turn the CO2 on to, there we go. I had to rewire the whole steering wheel. So rendition number 3 is definitely better. Everything works. Stuff like that. So we're all done there. Getting over a sickness, which I thought was a cold, but it's been lingering for 2 weeks. And I don't know if it's the CVID, but man, I got zero energy right now. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 days. So just over 2 weeks to get ready to go to Street and Yeet. We have to do all of this. Drive shaft collar gonna do it tomorrow. Nut and bolt tomorrow. Oil and filter. Oh, I gotta grab a filter. I don't have to change the oil. Nothing's wrong with it. You know, since switching to that Schaefer's, that stuff is working well. I'm very happy with the Schaefer's, but I haven't changed it all season. It's been in the car all season, and before we thrashed the crap out of it, you know, we beat on it pretty good the last outing. So just gonna put new oil in it. Cheap insurance. You're like $130 for an oil change with the Schaefer's and a filter, which is expensive for an oil change, especially for a stock bottom end setup. But you know, the motor's never run quieter and never had better pressure. So trans fluid, yeah. So I already got a new CO2 tank. I got 5 gallons. I'm waiting to see how much fuel will X85 be on site. If X85 is on site at every track, I'm probably only gonna bring 10 gallons with me. I got 5 passes out of 5 gallons. Trans fluid ready to go, but this is, I think this is gear AW32, and I was switching it back over. I gotta think about that now. Fingers crossed I get my truck back this coming week. They told me the parts will be shipping tomorrow, or will be here tomorrow, one of the two. So that'll be nice. Anyway, I'm just rambling. We're gonna end this video. Sorry about the huge... Are we gonna end this video? I don't know. We'll see. If not, I will add in tomorrow's stuff with it on the lift at work. And we'll see if it fits in this video or not. Alright? Anyway, if we do end this here, have a good night. Get in your garage. Get to work on your hot rod. The season's almost over for almost everyone. Well, except for you people in the South, which... And, I hope you have a good one. Alright, I'm at the shop. Already got the oil drain and the filter changed. I fill it up with my new favorite oil. I started using this year, and I can say it makes a difference. People are like, oh, you don't need that, yada, yada, yada. But I'll tell you what, I've noticed a difference with this oil versus everything I've ever used. I've had VR1 in here. I've had Rotella in here. I've had regular Valvoline synthetic in here. Nothing like this Schaefer. Better oil pressure, engine's quieter. It's the first time changing the oil this year. And like I said, I honestly didn't think I had to, but before I drive it 700 miles and beat its guts out of it, get some of this new blue fluid in here. New blue. So I can say I'm happy about it. What kills me is it's like 120 bucks for the oil. It's like 150 bucks for an oil change on this with the filter. So I'm at $300. I paid $500 for the motor. But you know what? The motor's very happy. So I got the drive shaft speed collar back on. I got to finish setting the gap on the sensor. I already found a couple loose bolts. The squeak in the suspension is the Heim joints in the front control arm. So that makes me, I gotta send the front shocks out anyway to get rebuilt. This one's leaking, but I got like 20,000 miles on all these Heim joints in this car. Like, this stuff's not meant to go that long. You gotta think, that stuff's meant for race cars, and 20,000 miles, divide that by, you know, 0.25 or whatever it is to get your quarter mile passes out of it. You know, nobody's usually doing that. So when I take a car apart this winter, I'll replace all the Heim joints and all the control arms. I just did the ones on the bump steer kit, so I don't have to do those. But I might send them back, see if I get new ball joints from Team Z with them as well. You know, I'll get Heim joints and ball joints for them. Drained the catch cans, all of them are drained. There was pretty much nothing in them, which makes me very happy that I listened to the Master Capizzi with ring gap. So my last motors were loose, and I always had like a half a quart of oil in my catch cans after a track day. Now I just popped the drain, there wasn't a drop in there. So that makes me happy. Show you guys something cool that we've been working on in the shop in the past couple of weeks. 1988 GT T-top. You see that? If you can't see it, that's 9,800 original miles. And look how clean this interior is. Needs a good detailing. I got a ton of parts to put in it. I did a T56 Magnum kit in it, 3G alternator, gotta rebuild the rear end, all new exhaust, yada yada yada. I've never seen a Fox body this clean in my life. What? What? Two different sizes? What the hell is going on here? It's kind of obnoxious. Bothers me so much how much rusted that one drive in this thing. Like, look at this. And I have to take care of this winter. Didn't even really. Everything else looks good on it though. I put the new collar and sensor in. I'm gonna tighten this up. But look at the rust. Ugh. We're gonna get new brakes this winter. We're going a wee bit fast for our stock crap. All right, so that's it today. That's it for a little bit of maintenance today. Those are shot. They make so much noise. All right, let's get this thing out and let's go home.